Hi, welcome to this week's Astro Energy Report and three-card tarot spread. I am Desiree, your intuitive counselor here on the channel at Soulpath Astrology. If you're new here, welcome. I do want to give you a quick lowdown on how to use these videos. Basically, at the beginning, I'm going to give a little spiel about energetically, astrologically, the weather, what's going on, the milieu that we find ourselves in. Following that, there's going to be a brief meditation where we will have an opportunity after to select from one, two, or three cards. After that, you're welcome to listen to all of them or timestamp to the ones that resonate, that seem sparkly to you. And as always, I do recommend that you listen right to the very end because there is a little nugget of love that wraps everything up that you can take with you as you move into the week. If you're returning, welcome, my sweet and beautiful soul family. It's always such a pleasure to have your energy in the space, co-creating with me here. Hope that your week has been good so far, that the energy of last week has had a chance to integrate and land a little bit. February is an intense month, right? I mean, we have a lots of shifts, a lot going on, a lot of disclosure globally, a lot of dismantling of systems. There's violence across the board. There's a lot going on. If you are watching this channel, I'm assuming that you're probably in this current moment in a place of safety and security. And for those of us that are fortunate enough to not be having the stuff in our real life interface, it is our collective job right now to align and attune with holding the line, holding cohesion, resonance, being a source of security and safety in our own energetic body. There's a deep invitation right now as we finish up this month and as we move into Mercury retrograde, which is it's always a period of introspection. Plus, we've got a lunar eclipse happening. This is really about parsing apart in all the noise. What are the pertinent parts to you? What is your responsibility? What is your deep calling and your deepest service that you can provide during these tumultuous times? As we move into the energy of the fire horse year, what is your role? How can you sit astride that horse with a deep seat so you're not getting tossed off and you're not just hanging on for dear life, but that you are riding this horse with skill, with courage, with faith, and with a deep felt center of gravity in your pelvis that keeps your ass in the seat, keeping your butt in that saddle. This is so important. Astrologically, we are being invited into finding our deep center of gravity, because amidst the chaos, it can be tempting to get pulled into the fray, to get hauled into water cooler conversations about, oh my gosh, oh this, oh that. Can you believe it? The thing is, this is a gross misuse of our attention and our capacity to evoke actual, purposeful, meaningful effect. You cannot save the world. We are not meant individually to save the world. What we're meant and designed to do is to coalesce our own energy into our own space, to reside in our own deep center of gravity. And from that place, be like a beacon, be a sense of resonance for this calm, for this forthrightness. We are surrounded in distortions. Everywhere we look, we've been living and laboring under an enormous amount of dissociation, of distortion, of the emperor's new clothes, of having to play this weird game of seeing wrongdoing and yet being told if you call that out, or seeing distortion of reality and being told if you call that out that you are not a team player, that you're bad, that you're an anti this or that, that you get canceled. We're coming into a time now where it's not about looking out there. This is not about judging what's going on out there. Inside the self, where have you been letting distortion sit at your table? Where, through your conditioning, have you been taught to accept and welcome in everything and everyone, no matter how false, no matter how actually patently incorrect it is? I don't know about you, but myself, man, have I been conditioned away from my truth. I have been so deeply conditioned to welcome everyone at the table, no matter how fucked up their point of view is, no matter how clearly erroneous and out of congruency it is, because somehow to allow that and call that and not and say it's not allowed to sit at the table with me makes me a bad person. It makes me mean. And oh my God, what if I'm wrong? What if actually my perception of reality is what's incorrect and theirs is correct? And then here I am pushing them out. Oh, the horror of that. This year, this energy. Oh, it's like this lunation that's coming in. Okay, with the eclipse season, full lunar eclipse. Okay, this is asking us to see, where have we been living under our own illusions? Where have we been allowing illusions to sit at the table with us? And yes, you are allowed to sit. Allow your energy to drop into your pelvis and into your belly and root to the ground and say, no more. I will not accept this in my field of gravity. You do not have to accept people and ideologies in your immediate environment. This is not about casting out here, because that's a distraction. Getting all worked up and pissed off about what's going on in the world, unless you are actively in a position of power to affect change on something specifically out there, it's a distraction otherwise. Come back in and do your inner work. And one of my things is I soften my point. I preemptively try to manage other people's emotional responses. And I am pledging to step into way more solidity, way more authenticity, even more than I've ever spoken from before, and way more allowing you and everyone else around me to orienteer yourself based on that. You don't like it? No problem. Let yourself leave. Like, I am not going to beg and plead. I don't want you to beg and plead. We are entering into an age where we need to be really clear and truthful about our reality, very clear about presenting it without softening it, mitigating it, pretending it's something else, without preemptively trying to digest it for other people. Show the fuck up the way you are and what is true for you. And if something is distorted, you don't have to give it airtime. You can call that out. Risk the rejection. This is a really interesting theme that's coming up. And how do you do that? You anchor in. You anchor into yourself, into your own GPS unit. You challenge your own assumptions. You challenge where you might have been historically bleeding out energy under the guise of martyrdom, under the guise of not wanting to hurt other people's feelings. I want to challenge everyone on this channel right now to question your real motivations between your fear of losing connection. Because of course we're humans. We're a very social species. We very much want connection, but we are at a threshold right now where we have to stop trading our connection to ourself for connection with out there, and instead deeply root our inner connection, trusting that from this place, we can begin to interface with each other with a whole different way of doing intimacy, a whole different way of approaching the interconnectedness between two or more people as we come together, that there is a field between us, that when we are both in a deep sense of integrity and self-autonomy, self-accountability, there's a safety for everyone that starts to produce in that. So the false safety that we used to have by managing other people's feelings, this is a deep, real safety, a non-distorted sense of safety that has a deep recognition about what is true for you and the courage to speak from there, to bring that forward only, and trust the other person to do the same. And when you sense discord, when you sense the wobble, when you sense the bullshittery, to call that out. You don't have to be a bitch about it. You don't have to be an asshole, but call it out. I challenge you to do so, because in this space between us, we can actually begin to cultivate shared unity consciousness. This is Patricia Albert's work. Highly recommend you Google her. I'm just starting to sniff around the edges of it myself, so I don't want to speak to it like some sort of expert on the matter, because I'm not, but I can sense it in my belly. I can feel something true running through my spine about a kind of intimacy that is neither codependent enmeshment, nor is it avoidant parallel play, but it's something so much more deep where you still get to maintain your individuality or your selfness, but there's a collective unity space that is where lies can't exist, where distortion doesn't live. That is the kind of intimacy and from where we need to collect each other so we can start to build a new version of reality that's actually based on reality and not lies, not distortions, not selling something and not a brand of it, not an ideology of it, but a felt, embodied, lived space. Okay, so there's my rant. Mercury retrograde. I'm going to tap on that. It starts on the 26th and it goes till March 20th. Retrogrades are always about going within. This is, yes, download your files, back up your computer, double check before you sign anything. Really look, like double check at the fine print. Okay. But more than this is like, it's a beautiful time to receive downloads, a beautiful time to receive, because Mercury is a messenger of the gods, Hermes. Allow yourself to receive what you need to hear and invite in the courage to act upon it, to have clarity around it, to know what is yours to attend to and what is not, what is yours to take active steps on, and what is yours to pray about and release. Yeah, that's Mercury retrograde for now. The cards are going to talk to that a little bit more. March 3rd is that lunar eclipse. So this is like, I appreciate it's Wednesday and these run from Tuesday to Tuesday, but we're already feeling it. We're in the eclipse portal. This is bringing up the stuff that we're meant to gain clarity around, especially as we come into that full moon. Full moons shine the light on our subconscious, and it's happening in Virgo. Virgo is daily habits. It's our health. It's practicality. Virgo's not woo-woo ephemeral in the sky. Virgo is like chopping wood, carrying water. Where do you need to start landing back in your body and taking physical action steps towards manifesting your dreams? Where have you been dissociating or waiting to be saved or doing that game of just getting all riled up about out there so that all your energy, it's like you're ejaculated all over the place and it's going nowhere to actually produce anything useful? Okay. Where are you doing that in your life? And stop. This invitation, it's that game. It's time to be done with that. We are now moving in. We have Neptune and we have Saturn in Aries where it's go time. It used to be in Pisces and it was all about the sort of dreamy thinking, whatever. And the last 36-year cycle when these two came together, right, was in Capricorn. So for the last 36 years, approximately since 89, we've been working out karma around Capricorn themes, top-down hierarchy, paying out the karma around colonialism. And now we're stepping into building, like we're done with that. We get to step into love, into higher mind, into that unity consciousness as being the place where we source from, where we come together and be like, okay, what do we all need? What does everyone all need? And let's start building something that supports the collective instead of the 0.1%, right? Capricorn is that 0.1%. This energy, this is like the starting energy, that fiery Aries energy of initiating new cultures. The last time that Saturn and Neptune were at 0 degrees Aries was estimates are between 5,000 and 9,000 years ago. So we're talking about the beginning of the agricultural era, which arguably was like the shift in humanity. And so now we're finding ourselves at another evolutionary point as big, as paradigm shifting, meta story altering start of a new civilization. And imagine building it from that collective space. Imagine building it from everyone's needs, from pure honesty, from deep truth, from being willing to voice our fears and our concerns and have them actually heard, and building stuff to support that. Not just saying the nice words, but actually doing what needs to be done to create safe places, not exclusively labeling my safe place. Like, I don't mean it like that, because this is what I mean. There's been so much like just putting the language on it, but like under it's like such bullshit. Now we're stepping into a time frame in our story where we can actually build from reality, where they're not just words, it's a way of being for real, where we're willing to look at where we need help, where we fucked up, where we need to make repair, where we need to take accountability and ownership, and that everyone matters, that everyone's voice is important, that the meek shall inherit the earth. Those that are with the least amount of power, with the women, the children, with the people that need to be supported, we actually need to welcome them in, not giving that lip service, but actually giving it deep service. We'll end that there. Let's talk about a little bit of a meditation to ground all this. Let's just come into the space together. I want to invite you into your body, into awareness of your breath and the space that you're taking up, the weight of your pelvis, of your sit bones, inviting your energy into the center of your spine, imagining 2 DNA strands weaving around the core of your spine, up to the great ethers in the sky, and rooted deep, deep, deep into the core of the earth. As these energies spiral up and down your spine, I want to imagine a brighter and brighter light illuminating the entirety of your skeleton, showing you, revealing that your bones are made of stardust as they sprinkle alive with bright, bold, beautiful, multicolored light. Breathing and feeling this sparkling, glistening stardust in your bones, filling the entirety of your body and igniting the DNA strands, igniting your cells, invoking a light that just emanates from the very marrow of your bones outward, rooted in reality and truth, rooted in congruency and alignment, rooted in natural rhythms and cycles. This is an arrival home. Breathing in, allow that to fill your entire body. Notice where you may be holding any tension and just soften those areas. Letting your breath fill you to the core. Taking one more deep breath in. And exhale audibly. Opening your eyes, and welcome back to the space. Okay, here's where we get to pick our cards. Here's our 3 this week. 1, 2, 3. What's sticking out for you? What is sticking out for you? First card. Card number 1, Justice. How appropriate. I got new cards, by the way. Aren't these pretty? Why? Because you are 8-2 of the other deck. So I guess you wanted me to get a new deck. So here we've got these beautiful gold shiny ones, and Justice is card number 1 this week. Justice is all about our deep truth. Justice is it's standing before your own judge and saying, is this true? Is this accurate? Is this a trauma response? Is this really real, or is this a learned defensive behavior? What is actually real for me? If I wasn't afraid of pissing other people off or alienating them, what would I actually say, and how would I say it? Can you stand for yourself? Can you stand in your own deep self-advocacy without trying to soften it? Can you just be your fucking self? On a more mundane level, if you are in the midst of a conflict, justice will be served. Fairness isn't equal necessarily, but it is what is appropriate and required for each party. So that also might be what's going on for you on a more, less esoteric level. What else can I say about it? Don't be afraid of the word no. This is for you, right? This is actually a really good fulcrum point. It's a good edge. Where do you say no when you want to say yes? And more importantly, where do you say yes when you want to say no? Get good at starting to get honest with that. It will clear up so much in your life. It'll clear up your energy. It'll clear up the clutter. It'll clear up your leaky spending. It'll clear up the blocks around receiving. It's amazing when you get clear on what your yes and your no actually are, and then you start to become just ridiculously bold about it. They're both complete sentences, by the way. Hell yes or hell no. That's all you need. You do not need to explain it. You don't have to couch it in, well, I would, but you don't have to make up lies or excuses to justify it. Yes is a yes and a no is a no. And I invite you to practice just living in those and watch with those black and whites how quickly your life gets very clear and how you start to become extremely cognizant about where you're leaking, where others are leaking, who and what you want to have in your life and what you don't, and then stir up the courage to act on that in both directions. Because it's the acting. It's one thing, like knowing is great. It's a place to start, but until you act on it, it's virtually useless. It's in the actions. And I personally, I'm so done witnessing loops. I'm so done holding space for people that are just repeating the same thing over and over again. Myself included. That's why I'm losing patience with others, because I'm like, where am I keeping myself stuck? Where do I keep coming up with excuses? Where am I watering down my truth because I'm afraid of losing connection, though I call it, oh, well, I don't want to hurt their feelings, or there's, we've all been conditioned that the martyrs are the greatest people. Like, listen, those Christians that died for their belief, they died for the belief in love. They didn't do it because they were told they should to prove how much they cared, like that is the thing right now. This is the difference between doing it because you should, because you're concerned about the optics, because you've been conditioned to do the optics. This is about doing what's fucking real for you in your belly. It has nothing to do with the optics of it. It has to do with the real felt sense. This is the justice card, is like asking you, stop being performative in any way. Quit the performance. And if you come off as selfish, if you come off as harsh, okay. But stop trying to pretend that you're softer or kinder or more whatever than you actually feel. And I'll tell you something else about this. I recorded another video yesterday, like this video, but yesterday, and I was like buzzing on coffee, and it was like no holds barred. And while I was recording it, I was thinking to myself, holy hell, I'm mean. I'm like, this is so direct. This is so rude. Then I rewatched it. None of that. So my internal felt sense of my honesty, it's still distorted because I'm still not practiced yet at boldly just expressing myself without couching it in softness or pre-digesting other people's emotional responses to it. So I'm allowing myself grace, and I share this with you because I want to invite you to allow yourself grace that as you step into your bold truth, your unwatered down reality, you may experience yourself as being over the top, but I'm almost willing to bet no one else is going to see it that way. There might be some people that push back because they're used to you accommodating, but your actual expression probably isn't as nearly as over the top as it feels like it is initially in your body until your nervous system readjusts to the new expression, recalibrates to what deep truth feels like, because collectively we have all been conditioned to go along to get along, that martyrdom is somehow something to feel proud about, that keeping the image of something is more important than whatever reality is going on underneath. And now we're being called to step into the reality. We need to actually take an honest assessment about the muck and the reality and the gifts and the beauty and the spectacular, both sides of the spectrum of reality outside of the image. outside of that Neptunian, like dreamy, the movie version of it or the branded version of it, like what's real? That's what we're all being called into right now. So there's your card. Card two, this one right here. Actually, this one right here. Your 10 of Wands. How perfect for this, because this is about like you're almost there. This is, I know it's been a long slog, but you're right near the finish line. He's almost home. There's a sense of completion. You see how he's like bent over, like, oh, but there's a celebration. A 10 is always about completion, and a 10 is a degree of mastery. You have been carrying something for a long time. This is this 36-year cycle we're finally leaving. Okay, as we step into the Aries, the Neptune and Saturn in Aries conjunct at 0 point, we are beginning something new. We've been hauling an old paradigm for a very long time, and we're done. We're done. We get to start building something new. We get to start building from that real place, from that sincere and authentic place, no matter how imperfect it might be, no matter how messy it might be, it's real. And doesn't that land in your belly in a way that just feels so much better than the polished perfection, than the weird, like homogenized version of humanity we've been given, like the one way we're all supposed to look, the one way we're all supposed to talk, the one religion we're all supposed to follow. Like, what if there is something incredibly beautiful about our individuality? What if there is a many roads that get all to the same place of unconditional love? What if there's many names, many shapes, many forms of art that lead us all back to truth and to authenticity and to collective, unconditional inclusivity in a real, actual way? The 10 of Wands is acknowledging that we have been on a long road towards this. But if you feel a resonance with that, if you feel a deep felt sense of wanting to build community that actually feels like community, that actually feels like inclusivity, that's not just a nice word that's brandied about, that actually uses exclusivity to create a false sense of inclusivity, but actual inclusivity, what might that be like? I want to welcome you home. I want to welcome you back to your own intuition, to your own felt sense of congruency, and to acknowledge that there's truth in that. And that it's okay that if in your alignment with that, you realize that you're not aligned with me, that's okay. I want to allow that for all of us, that we can truly allow ourselves to be ourselves and allow ourselves to shake out, to let the chips fall where they may. And so that who resonates with where you are right now in time, not some future version of you or some future version of them or some past version of you or some past version of them, but who we each are in this moment right now, to allow that to be enough and to be information that we take seriously and we act upon. Okay, 10 of Wands. That was like a total tangent on the 10 of Wands. Anyway, last but never least, the 4 of Swords, which incidentally, if your birthday is April 4th, this is your card. There's like a whole sheet, if you Google it, about each birthday has its own tarot card association. And this is April 4th. I know that because it's my birthday. This is like nesting. This is going within. This is rejuvenation. This is our Mercury retrograde. Okay, we've been through it, you guys, right? The 4 of Swords is giving you permission to curl up in your nest for a minute and to just take a breather. To pause during this Mercury retrograde so that you can attune to your deepest truth, to what's most alive and real for you, to see where you've been watering down your own reality to try to fit it in with other people's, where you've been trying to let distortion sit at the table under the guise of inclusivity when you know damn well it's not correct for you. Where you can say to someone, I respect your opinion on this matter. I respect your perspective on this matter, and it's incorrect. Imagine that. I don't know for me, this is huge. Like that just feels so waiting for the sky to fall. Like, really, to tell somebody that their distorted view of my experience is incorrect and to just be okay with that and to not be like, but you're allowed to have yours, but to just say, like, it's patently incorrect and it's not welcome in my reality. I don't want to hear your politicized political word salad where I've been gaslit out of my own deep knowing. Like, no, it's not welcome at the table. I want clarity or I want you the fuck out. And that's where I'm at. And it's okay to have to sit in your own energetic space, your own auric field outside of anyone else's influence so that you can orienteer and align with yourself. So give yourself the space if you feel the need to just shut off. You know what? Shut off all the noise, shut off the news, shut off your social feed. Give yourself like a noise break, an externalized noise break, and just go within, whether it's for an hour or a day or a week. It's a four, maybe make it 4 days. Maybe if that's too much, do it for 4 hours. But like if you could even do a 4 day news and social media detox, like where you just shut it all off and hear yourself. Woo! Coming out the other side of that, it's like a darkness retreat, except it's just shutting out the noise retreat. It's a fast, it's an information fast. And so I invite you into that. That's what's sort of like arising here in the background of my where I get those hits. Have an information fast. Take a hiatus from the noise for 4 days. Let your nervous system land and recalibrate. Allow your attention to come back in and see what you find there, because that is actually your realm. That is what you're deeply responsible for. And when we're so busy looking out here, we abdicate our throne. And just like in the movie The Lion King, when the Lion King Simba abdicated his throne from guilt, right? He left because Scar told him that he caused his father's death, and it was from guilt, from shame, that he abdicated his own responsibility and went off and met Timon and Pumbaa. But in that abdication, all hell broke loose in the Pride Lands, right? We are being called home to our own throne. The one place where you have true sovereignty is here. It's here, your mind, your heart, and your creative pelvic throne. Come home. Kick everyone else out for a bit and come home. Okay, we're going to leave it at that. Nugget of love this week. By the way, you guys, before I get into that, if you love these videos, if these land, if you find truth, please like the video, please share it. If you want a deep dive reading of your own, you can find a link to those in the description of this video and as a pinned comment. And comment, let me know what's going on out there. Let me know how this stuff lands for you. Okay, weekly nugget of love. It's that sovereignty theme, you guys. It's coming back home to your own throne. Shut out the noise. Remember how to feel truth in your own body, because in this day and age of wild misconception, of misinformation, of deep fake videos, of the world's systems and institutions crumbling down and literally on fire, we have to strengthen our connection to our own wisdom, our divine wisdom, that part of us that is connected to the deepest, highest whole. And it's in your body. Your telomeres at the end of your cells, your end of your DNA knows this. It's in you. And it cannot be lost, but you can lose touch with it. So silence the outside racket. Let it be a driver to your deepest internal wisdom place, and take the time to connect to that. Practice that muscle. Get outside in nature. Nature is a beautiful way to help you align and reattune to your own deep natural coding, your source code. There is wisdom everywhere in nature's rhythms and in her beautiful creations. So you can reconnect with God, reconnect with your own divinity from there. And your breath. Come back to your belly, come back to your heart, come back to your deepest felt breath. In the center of you, in the center of your heart, in the center of your belly lies the center of the storm. where it is calm, where it is still, and where truth and wisdom and integrity and your throne reside.